here.
Yeah, they've swapped their Smolder ban for the Jin earlier on. The Jin they banned last game, but it was in round 2. So Smolder priority dropping for themselves, perhaps looking to first pick it. But we can see they've perked Syndra, so that's an adjustment from them. Same bans from DMJ on the opposite side.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that Syndra picked first instantly, countered by Amumu Smolder. So this time they leave the Smolder up, that gets instantly selected here, and the Amumu for Boxy, it looked great in game 1. Why not pick it again in game 2, right? Make them kind of iterate and actually change something. So Kog'Maw Lulu answered back. This time they don't wait for the second round of bans, and they pick the Lulu early. And I do like this look a lot more for Freljord to have the Lulu alongside the Kog'Maw. I think that Kog'Maw needs a little bit more protection. The Braum had a lot to do last game and just not quite the kit to actually get it done. And so I like the Lulu pick here for Freljord. Also, Basunas looked great on the champion. And Blitzcrank is picked here. You gotta assume that this is for Chestnut. Chestnut doesn't miss. And so
right.
Smolder Blitzcrank lane, yeah, I'm not actually quite sure how it matches up because the Amumu Smolder very much all this damage over the top and a big wombo combo, but the Blitzcrank very much single target pick. So we'll have to see if they're able to, find these picks or if they want to go more for these big team fights.
Yeah, if they want to go for these big team fights, they're going to want to pick some ultis to go with it, as we see the bans come through. Aurora Rumble taken away from DMJ, so the Aurora taken away from the Well, #1 overall draft pick of the LCC, and Rumble, the one who rips them all, Bell's highest performing pick so far, I believe. And then Olaf and Zach taken away, targeting the top side for DMJ to prepare themselves for their counter pick.
Yeah, and it looks like it was an issue with the pro drafts, and so Mel is honored here instead of Tryndamere. So it's Amumu, Smolder, Blitzcrank, Mel, and then Shen as the counter. And they pick Ornn and Nocturne. So Nocturne Syndra, a lot of turn the lights off and deal a lot of burst damage. Ornn, I like the front line for Kog'Maw, but it still feels like it's not completely cohesive here. But another game where the Viego goes through, so Emperor's still not going into his Viego yet. Yeah, kind of interesting to not see that picked as is here in game 2.
Yeah, I think it's a cute draft iteration that we see Freljord Frost switch to the blue side and then first pick away Syndra, the exact same strategy that DMJ started with.
And I'm just going to skip over that rant. And we'll get straight into game number 2 here. So
skip over my vamping. That's right. Get out of here.
Big opportunity.
Game 2 DMJ Freljord Frost.
Yeah, I think Freljord coming in with a clear, a clear condition. They want to put a lot of eggs in these late game team fighting. I like that they've leaned further into that identity here in game 2. Boxy and Chestnut, they teamed up really well in game 1, so look for them to continue that here as the series progresses.
Ward coming out over the wall. We've seen him pro place this ward before. People really like to just prioritize this outside area of the Raptors, but if you see this all the time in our replays and our commentary, you can know to try to avoid those by just walking a little bit closer to your side, to your nexus. So I really think if you're not trying to be lazy, go place those a little bit deeper. But the other team can look for answers.
All right, so
I think I'm absolutely watching Chestnut this game because I want to see if there's a Blitzcrank. I'm watching for those hooks.
Yeah, he took heal.
Every time getting Inferno to the late game over getting the kills.
Yeah, it feels like every time that you play Blitzcrank, though, I want to see you just taking Ignite and just like shoving Rocket Grab as many times as you can.
Yep.
So, let's take a
look.
Any
place you can, as many times as you can.
Standard items here. Chestnut and Inferno looking to aggress in.
We're seeing a reverse clear from the junglers starting on opposite sides of the map again. No vision deep enough for Freljord Frost to spot out Boxy, so no information available to either side about where the jungler is starting. Nice trades down on Chestnut. Good dodge from the Well.
Ooh, the taunt in does land from Bell. The brutal stack landing from Duck as well, so decent trade back. But level 2 is secured by Freljord. Ooh, and Inferno and Chestnut are going to take some serious return damage. Bell with a potential solo kill angle here in top lane. Ooh, Scout of the Week. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so difficult to actually land that W.
Foxy
Of
looking
course,
for a gank bot side.
yeah, but a lot
No
of return
vision
damage.
out.
I feel like they might just be able to turn this. The heal, early heal comes out, so they do get it across, and the hook will land follow up. It's a flash in,
That's
Inferno
a
with a
flash
flash
forward.
out. So first blood collected, and he will escape. But the passive takes him down. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Chestnut with a flash in, gets the knock up on the rocket punch. The follow up will connect here. So it's 2-for-1.
Wave
Nice
is
gank
pushing
from Boxy.
away. This wave is in an advantageous state for Freljord Frost. It's pushing away towards them. It's denying DMJ farm, so not great for the Smolder. They're going to have to stabilize this after the play, but great pickups there after a rough trading pattern.
Yeah,
Hook connects. That's one.
that was a super clean force from Lowell to actually get Hope's flash out mid. So doesn't need a jungler, gets it done on his own. But already Demacia with a bit of an advantage. A nice play bot side. Lowell making it happen mid, and Bell with a bit of an advantage here in terms of pressure. Misses another taunt though, and if he continues to do this, he's gonna start to slip on the pressure here. But Empro is here. Level 4 Nocturne, not a lot that Nocturne can do, but the slow from Bassoon does land. Nice follow-up damage coming out, but Inferno will just back off. So already, welcome back to lane. Isn't it fun to be an 80 carry? You've got 25% of your HP bar
I
left.
think perhaps a blunder here from Beza, throwing a lot more auto attacks than I would have. I would like to maintain this freeze after Emperor just helped you set it up so very nicely to maintain. Inferno getting beat back out when Bassoon rolled back up to lane level 2. He's finding himself 300 HP just like he was before he left.
Yeah, not ideal, but definitely attainable. The taunt is going to land. Duck has to dive out. It's a dodge, dive, dip, duck, and dodge angle, but he will escape away from Bell. The flash out from Emperor, but a beautiful rocket grab. So that is jungler flash down as Chestnut collects a flash for his team. Really nice play there.
And Emperor putting down pressure bot side and finding success with the pre-6 Nocturne. Good look for them. Boxy with a nice invade to the top side.
Duck
So
flashing forward to connect on the brittle proc, but Bell might have a way out. Still has flash, so if he can get out without actually expending his flash, look at that. The Q shield is enough. So that is massive advantage. And great patience there to not expend the summoner spell. He actually just walks it out.
Teleported and flash for that play, and now forced to reset. Bell's going to come back out with TP and have Prio in the lane.
Yeah, big play there.
Play.
Lowell with the spell shield doesn't get stunned. He's got the level advantage here, looking to deal some damage. This is Hope's kind of signature pick in the Syndra, something that we've seen him really dominate on in games past.
Yeah, top and mid are both looking stable, but I'm watching bot, and this punish onto Inferno is brutal right now. They've can maintain this freeze ever since we saw it bounce away from them when he returned to lane. He's reset again, and he is 14 CS to 39 right now, and this freeze has not broken quite yet.
Yeah, tough.
Should be bouncing away now.
Tough to be
three.
Smolder right now at this point in the game. And I do feel like just naturally the jungler attention has to go down here. Emperor's got to smell blood in the water, but also no flash because Chestnut able to get that down earlier. Nice hook landing here, and the follow-up CC in from Boxy, but just not enough damage at this point in the game. Bell with the follow-up taunt top side. Yeah, so trading happening in every lane right now. You know, game 2, this is something that we see in game 2s. They're a lot more comfortable into each other. They're after seeing how game 1 went.
Ooh. And we are approaching level 6 for jungle. Level 6 already available.
Really nice taunt. And it's a solo kill topside.
Solo bolo Bell. the top side of the map, showing that he can pilot the Shen. That is so powerful for their draft in this series as well. Shen looking powerful in the hands of both Chestnut and Bell.
Yeah, in a big momentum play. Chestnut is going to look here. Onto Bez at the rocket grab will land. Bassoon is going to go down really quick, and he will have his passive, but even if it lands onto both, it's not actually going to connect, and we do have a disconnect come through. There's no pause, so these teams can pause whenever they want. The disconnect did seem to come through after the death, and he is moving again, so it must have been a temporary thing. Chestnut lands the rocket grab right before the polymorph comes through from Bassoon. The timing working out in the favor of Blitzcrank that time.
So yeah, unfortunate, but it is not BMJ's. Oh, that's an engage down on an Impro. Never mind. 200 HP left on the jungler.
Stand
Impro
united.
trying to escape.
Yep, and the power of friendship, indeed, it's strong with these players.
Oh, apparently there was a pause. It just didn't appear in the replay.
Okay.
All right, interesting. Yeah, we know.
There we go.
Because I was looking at the chat and they were
One of the
mentioning
benefits of watching on delay here, we don't have to sit through the pause.
Yep, that's grand. Duck discovering Boxy, but Boxy has already picked up 2, finishes the 3rd. Void Grub secured for DMJ. They are looking powerful this game, and it was a very fortunate turnaround for them in the bot side as the Smolder was devastatingly far behind. But
okay,
now,
so we just watched it happen mid. He had the shield up, and he still got stunned by the Scatter the Weak. So I don't know if that was just a timing thing, a visual bug, but it seems like the Mel Shield does not stop Scatter the Weak, according to what we just watched. Maybe it was just late there.
Let's watch it again, because I would be shook if it doesn't block the stun.
Yeah, I feel like we saw earlier, and there it is again, as the shield comes out, but the Scatter the Weak does land.
Huh.
Bell with the taunt.
See, that's
in
why
onto
I
Duck.
try not to assume.
Alright, so things calming down here, but a really flash forced out as Boxy is on the gank. Empro coming topside, but Bell finds the taunt. Duck this time able to actually get the CC across though, and they might be able to with the 2 of them. A nice dodge out, and this will be a big shutdown, and this is one of the ways that Freljord can start to come back into this game. They need to get this Nocturne up to level 6. The Paranoia, the first use of Paranoia is something that we need to pay attention to. Will be a massive momentum moment as here it comes out, and it's the Paranoia is used, but there's really no target in range.
Lowell kills the creeps and manages to just back away. It's a waste of the first Paranoia. I gotta say, that's really bad with Nocturne. That's a feels bad moment. And so they're going to be waiting for that one to come back up again. Clearing into the bot side, both junglers positioned near this dragon. This should, by all accounts, be our next objective. Top lane resetting for Freljord Frost. We'll see if Duck walks down to the objective, or they both play for their teleport. DMJ own this area.
I mean, the Justice are it's actually about even in gold, but the Justice are up in tempo, and they do have the objectives lead. They already have the Void Grub, so yeah, really just continuing to scale. Smolder's been able to find a little bit of farm here. Let's check in on stacks up to 66. That's not great, but it's fine. We're past that, getting to 25 mark. Very important to make sure that we get that done as early as we can. Scatter the Weak lands from Hope in a nice little trade, but Lowell able to land a second Q in the fight. Wins that trade, so it does seem like Mel is a really solid answer. The rocket grab from Chestnut just misses. Wild Growth in from Chestnut, and this is Bezim Bassoon's moment. It is going to be the mom across both as the flash trying to dodge out the artillery. Bassoon so now left.
It could be enough.
The passive will connect. It's both carries picking up kills here. And they
When's
go
the last
1-1.
time you saw a Kog'Maw passive use this effectively?
He's got 2 kills. I think
Beza's giving us a masterclass on getting that maximum effectiveness out of Kog'Maw. He really just needs to get to the late game, and if he gets that gold, What's the difference? He picks up the kill on the backside of the play as DMJ go for the dragon. Lowell is here about half HP.
If you're
Impro is
not,
on the
yeah.
sides. Paranoia
I mean,
comes
if
up
you're
soon.
not using your champion's passive, you're not using its full kit, right? You ask Matt about
Yeah.
that one. So let's watch how this goes. Paranoia is in. It's straight in onto Boxy. No deliberating, but the smite fight is secured, and the Justice will pick it up. Chestnut flashing out. Duck with the teleport in. A beautiful ram.
Oh!
Yeah, ram. What is that called?
All of the Forge God over
Yes.
down onto the
Ram jam.
DMJ
That's
as
what I
they
want to
flash
say.
back over the wall.
He's in onto
Impro,
Chestnut and Bell,
low.
though. I feel like they want this fight. I feel like Freljord should take this. Oh, a crazy sidestep. Bez is here. Inferno might just go down, and he will drop. Emperor picking up another kill here as Freljord, they gain their first lead of the series. A big 3 kills now onto Empro, and that is huge. Unfortunately, they didn't secure the smite on the objective, but a huge play to actually win the kills for the Freljord Frost.
It's got to be big for the momentum, but you could tell they were holding back a bit. They know that they're between 2 towers, so it's definitely a scary place to be playing around in. But it might have been a collective 1,000 HP between those 3 members that escaped. I wish we could have seen Freljord Frost look for a bit more, but playing it safe, trying to bring themselves back into this game, and the gold lead sits for the Freljord Frost.
Yeah, I mean,
So great recovery.
Duck had a really nice call to Forge God there, and he was able to connect onto multiple members. It just that the follow-up wasn't quite there from his team. It was just a little bit out of position. So they did ultimately collect a couple of kills, but yeah, that's the type of fight that Freljord wish had gone longer.
Yep. I did like how Boxy made sure to settle up next to the wall and then make sure he was nice and close before going for the flash over to get himself out of there. It's always extra embarrassing to miss those, so take the extra moment, get it right.
Yeah, I mean, Lowell, look at Lowell just forcing Hope out of the lane. This is...
Flash out from Hope. He's worried that Boxy's going to connect, but I think really he could have tried to bait that. Paranoia is almost up, and Impro was there to back him. So... perhaps a little bit nervous about giving up an extra kill, wanting to make sure they play safe. Flash down for Hope in the mid lane.
Yeah, and you know we are
So
in the
much
middle of
attention
game 2
offside.
here. It is a slight lead. Freljord is playing. Ooh, a
Oh,
nice sidestep
dodged
from
out.
Bassoon, and Lowell. The range on that stun just not long enough. That was a pretty crucial sidestep. I do think if he goes down there, then that kind of moves momentum back to the Justice. But
Yep,
Freljord
let's
has
stare
it for
down
now.
Beth.
And Duck turning the fight topside. There's no taunt for the moment, so Call the Forge got in onto Bell. Bell with a nice little dodge here. Will get away from that, so that's ulti used. Stand aside not quite up. It is one of the longest cooldown ultimates in League of Legends.
Stand United.
Stand United, yes.
As we have.
There's
Freljord
Paranoia
Frost
in,
going for the Paranoia mid.
straight in onto Lowell, and the Flea will, oh my gosh, the Unleashed Power, the Unleashed Overkill is what they should have called that one. And Hope and Empro again with another 2v1 gank onto mid. Lowell getting the
That's what
treatment.
you're looking for out of this Nocturne pick. You want to find these repeated. Every time you have Paranoia, you should be finding a kill with it. And every time you don't, it's a big impact on your Nocturne play. Trying to scale into the late game, you are expected to get that money. You need that income to continue finding these kills to be effective in team fights and not just pushed away as they have the easy answers, such as the Curse of the Sad Mummy, the knockup, the Stand United. Nocturne's going to need to continue finding this momentum if he's going to scale into the late game.
Yep, so Harold picked up here. We do see, I mean, first tower could be a big play, but Duck decides to back off here instead of actually collecting it topside. So he is going to go for the reset, and this means that feats of strength are still on the table. Could be either teams to pick up. Bassoon, a little bit too far out here, is going to need a fancy sidestep again as Chestnut will go for the rocket grab. Just misses. We usually say Chestnut doesn't miss, but this time he does. Bassoon punishing the miss there, controlling the vision and getting a nice trade on the back end.
Yeah, Beza going immediately aggressive. He said that Chestnut's not here, but soon called hooks down. I'm going in on Inferno, and then Chestnut walking down as Boxy was
Yeah, a
waiting.
heal in as he runs straight in the ultimate, but the nice wild growth coming out, and Beza, he knows that he just needs to go forward. A nice stand united as Demacia will push forward, but look at it's the passive. It's a third kill from the passive. He hasn't gotten a kill while alive the entire game.
By the passive. I didn't even notice this. A late Cole pickup from Beza has yet been cashed in. So both, he's pulling the same strategy this game. Paranoia dropped.
Yeah, and this is just going to be the go. It's 10 versus 10. The flash, the flap, but the counter flash forward. Barrier out. I don't think Empro ever really had the true kill angle. But yeah, I mean, Inferno able to get the flash. Boxy could look for the play there. Bandage toss in. The follow-up CC is so quick, and he will instantly die. What a turnaround from Luell. He has to taste his own medicine there.
Away.
And this should be Demacia. If they pick this up, this is going to be their feats of strength, and it looks like Freljord is going to seed the dragon here. So feats of strength going over to the Demacia Justice. This is a second time in 2 games, and yeah, Boxy playing really smart on both of these games.
Yeah, keeping it simple, going for the guarantee
plays. Huge rocket grab lands. That's where he got his namesake from. Chestnut, the redemption here. That is Hope will fall for the first time. They're able to push in and fully take mid-tier 1.
Look at
that, Luell.
Out of Luell.
That was so aggressive, but it misses, and Bassoon able to deal so much damage back. But look at the ultimate. Mel is... Whew, that was so much.
Yep, all the stacks going down onto Bassoon, even a couple auto attacks out of Luell, and they invest flash, but they pick up a kill. Bell kind of push in the bot side. This should be the second tower of the play for the Justice, and the third tower, top side, just waiting.
Oh, the teleport in, but okay,
not canceled any longer.
Yeah, that's new teleport. Yep, sorry, Yep. Anyways, so. Hope will teleport in, but he just really collects the rest of that wave. Isn't
good check in on Smolder stacks. We're at 19 minutes now, 146 stacks onto Inferno with the Smolder. I think this is slightly behind where you're looking to be on pacing, but I think that makes sense with the punishment we saw at the very early game. It really delays your ability to get to that initial spread to increase your stack rate for the rest of the match.
All right, so. Yeah, well, let's check out stats, or stacks, actually. So 146 here. But the rocket grab lands onto Bassoon. Bassoon able to shield up a little bit, but look at this return damage from Beza. The flash, the Curse the Sad Mummy, and that is Bassoon going down. Beza might not be long for this world. He's so low, but he does get a little bit of damage. The Paranoia in. They will return the damage down onto Boxy. That's the first time that he doesn't get it with his corpse, but it's a 2 for 2.
Does pick up the assist and great damage. I thought Beza was looking killer on that play. They ram the Herald. They pick up the mid tower. Freljord Frost come ahead on the play when it looked like initially it was really going to go DMJ's way.
These fights are really scrappy, Sorelius. That's something that we should talk about. It's not these coordinated big team fights that we saw in game 1, and I feel like this scrappy style of fighting does lend itself towards Freljord and away from Demacia. So if Freljord can continue to push the tempo, continue to find fights with Paranoia, it looks good. At the same time, Beza's continuing to scale up. 4 kills now, 3 of them with a passive. The Cull only 30 CS away from cashing in, so yeah, we could see.
I think I agree with you. DMJ's looking their strongest when they're playing with the full 5. And I think Freljord Frost seem to be having an edge in some of these skirmishes. So the more they can afford to peel DMJ apart from each other, try to spread them out, make use of that Paranoia. There is a Stand United available as an answer, and we've seen aggressive use of the teleports from both sides to join fights.
Absolutely.
But
I mean, nothing can pull these teams apart, though. We're 21 minutes in. It's almost perfectly tied in gold at this point. And so it's going to come down to the plays that the players can make. And, yeah, it's a big part of the game for both of these teams. This is a big momentum game. You can feel it. If Freljord drops here, I do think Demacia is looking really good up 2-0. And if Freljord can pick up this win, then they've got a way back into this series. So Demacia trying to close this out. They've got the Smolder, the late game insurance of the Smolder. We'll have to see what happens as we head into the late game here. Duck and Bell back at it topside. It's fun to be top lane. Just smack each other a little bit. Doesn't really matter. They're both like full HP still.
Yep. Big wet noodle fight going on the top side. Chestnut going to be clearing out some of his vision. Bassoon trying his best to defend it, but little Lulu legs not going to carry him too far in that play. Dragon coming up soon. It'll be the third dragon for DMJ, having great objective control this match. They've often had to fight for it on the backside, but they've been there early most of the time.
All right, so I think
this is such a
I think
scary
Dragon
lane
is going to be the
state.
next thing.
The Dragon Otacon combo.
And if you're Demacia, you do really want to just like group up and take this dragon fight. But if it goes badly, you not only will you lose the dragon, but you will lose the Otacon as well, as it is the bot side Otacon. So I do feel like this play right here is what the game is going to come down to. We have to take a look at the atomization before it starts. We see the Shen in the side lane with the stand united. Let's see what happens. Smolder not with the team yet. We do want to wait to
Love
get
that
Inferno
positioning
here.
from the Shen, getting that pressure down before the objective spawns. He's a little bit late, perhaps, getting to the tower, but I love this. Making great use of the stand united teleport
A
pressure.
nice root landing here. The hook lands huge kill as Bassoon will die right at the start, but it's the paranoia in onto the back line as they all in. Curse the Sad Mummy lands on a 3. It's already a double kill. The stands united down onto Inferno. A flash out from Chester, but a flash in from Bell. And the Demacian Justice already have 3. Look at the find from the passive. Another kill. It's the 4th as the taunt onto Duck just misses. The Unleash Power. Massive game time play from Hope to actually try and find a kill back. Lowell just missing some of these kills, so it's going to be a 2 down. It's a 3 for 2. That Freljord really winning the second half of that fight.
Away from the dragon. Boxy, when we fight a dragon, Boxy is prioritizing the dragon. Forget everything else. Man takes down the dragon alone again. I would be shocked if they started up this Otacon, but they definitely won this fight soundly, and I think DMJ could look for another one. Hope with a great pickup onto Inferno on the backside of that, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's Chestnut. He's got his namesake for a reason. He doesn't miss. He starts the team fight out with a big hook that lands onto Bassoon, but somehow the Frost are able to kind of bandle their way through that. Now Bell potentially on a big overstay as the Polymorph will come out, and Duck is on a nice position here, so this should be Bell going down. Teleport in from Lowell. Boxy's going to try and find a way through, but the Wild Growth lands.
It's a 3v4 at best for DMJ as Kog'Maw approaches.
Oh, it's 1 for 1 though, as look at that return damage. The Lulu is so squishy at this point. Lowell with his 6th kill, 6-2-2 on the Mel. So
they're trading support for top laner, but they have DMJ positioned to pressure this mid tower, pulling a teleport away out of Duck. So I think a good recovery after being caught in the bot side for Bell.
Smolder up to 192 stacks here. The Otacon laning like an old Mordekaiser ultimate, just fully out of his pit. So yeah.
Which character would summon Otacon?
Dude, what if we had like old Mordekaiser with Otacon, and you could summon the Otacon? Oh my gosh,
it looks like Maiden.
It does.
I think Otacon's Maiden.
You're not wrong.
We'll say finally in this match, but DMJ sit at 3 dragons, sole point for themselves, and they have the dragon themselves on their team, stacking continuously 203 stacks. They're reaching quite close to their break point.
The ornament's starting to come through. First ornament secured, and it goes on to Hope. I think the second one could be a tough decision whether you give it to Bassoon or Emperor. Both of them have been dealing quite a bit of damage. I think probably Bassoon at this point in the game. But yeah, we'll see. It might just be whoever's closest, to be honest.
I can't believe 4 of these kills onto Bezar from passive. Somebody write that down. That's a record of some sort.
Definitely an LCC first to see so many, such a high percentage. But the Cole cache, this
Chestnut,
is second
I'm
game
going to challenge you. I'm watching this locket. I expect to see this locket in use every team fight. If you don't use it, you're letting everybody down.
Look at Boxy with back to clearing his jungle. Junglers doing what they do best, the hard clear. kind of a little bit of a reset here. I feel like Otacon should be on the table. Baron is up though, so you can't commit too many towards either one because it might just end up in a trade. And so I do feel like maybe Dragon in 2 minutes, that is the sole Dragon for Demacia that might be able to pull in both of these teams into a team fight once more.
All right. Ball state continues.
Let's check stacks.
I think the most
229. So that is
section we've had.
That is the third evolution here for the Smolder. So fully stacked up Smolder will continue, of course, to get more scaling damage as more stacks come in, but fully stacked up here at 27 minutes. So late game as it gets. Only level 13 though, so yeah, not a ton of levels actually in this game.
Yeah, shouldn't really be able to hide it from the enemy team, but we'll see. I think it's always a little bit telling how the first reveal, the first team fight, the first engage, when you pick up that Elder Dragon goes, because once they start seeing that, they start playing around avoiding the Smolder. But once that first fight, you have a chance to really catch them off guard and build momentum for your team.
He's going to pick up one more stack as he steals away Boxy's Raptor.
That's nice of him. Objective spawning across the map. Otacon's still up. Dragon spawning in the next 40 seconds, and we have Baron topside now.
Yeah, neither team has good deep vision.
Really stalled out.
Boxy, Lowell, and Chestnut are all here, though, and it looks like Empro spotted on this side ward. Beza is going to take it down, so...
Oh, watch for the hook.
Confirming that there's no deep vision. Again, we see Bell in the side lane. We'll have the Stand United available.
Oh, toggle this vision between the two. This is tense. Oh, there's a vision. Okay, all 5 spotted out by the Lowell plant. So great move there. Bell making amazing use, continuing to use this Shen. Pressure in the top side. We have the Stand United. We have the teleport. He's got all the time in the world.
Big shout out to Inferno for shoving in mid as well. That's going to pull Beza away and give them time to just walk in. And Duck has to just recall. So Duck does have teleport. They could come to this fight, but we need to watch it as Dragon is started by Boxy and the Demacia Justice. They're not going to pull it out of the pit. The pink ward in the back. We are just going to stay tuned here. On to Boxy. Emperor's on the side. Spell shield is up. The paranoia comes through. It's a 4 versus 4, but the flap over the wall. It's already the movement speed used. The root lands onto Emperor. The mom coming through lands onto 3 on the back, but it might not be enough. Stand United in onto Inferno as the dash in, and the Curse the Sad Mummy lands onto 2. Already 2 down. It's a double kill for Lowell, but the Ram Gem reflected. The soul picked up for the Demacia Justice. They've won 2. Will they continue to hunt down the Frost? Look at Chestnut, the flash forward, the rocket grab. It does miss, and this is hope now as Duck, beautiful triple fight. Inferno trying to do what he can. Lowell with a triple kill. Hope has to flash out. Lowell trying to find one more on the side. It's a flash away as Boxy.
Oh my god, he pulls Boxy back over after the bandage toss. He's insane. He saves his own jungler from getting the kill, and Bell teleports in to rejoin Hope. Scatters the weak, pushes him away, and will retreat into the pixel bush. Pings down onto Baron.
What a top 10 interaction.
Hope uses teleport to escape. He doesn't want to risk the reset. Rocket grab misses on a Duck, and oh my goodness.
So what happened there is Boxy bandage tossed onto the big raptor as Chestnut hooks it back over the wall. So he basically did it like a little Azir loop, and yeah, ended up with his team.
Right. He helps. It's Boxy. It's on a Mumu. He did a Shuriman shuffle. It's a Mumu. It's still a Shuriman shuffle.
All right, so
somebody clip it. Oh my god.
At the end here, okay, a little bit of a reset because a big team fight. Lowell showing up huge. He's 6-2 going into the fight. Now 9-2 on the Mel, having a mega game. Inferno did a lot of damage, but unable to actually pick up any more kills here. And they do pick up the Dragon, so the Demacia Justice have Soul. They have a gold lead, and they have Baron now. And so the side lane push with Bell and the Shen is going to continue to get even better. Now, Shen does not have teleport, does not have the Stand United, and so this is a decent time to strike for Freljord.
I'm still giggling about the hook. He wrote in the chat, I don't miss.
Chestnut back his team up.
Pushed out onto the broadside.
Yeah, I feel like this is this is kind of like the time to engage, but Emperor's not here with the team. He's trying to get the blue buff. I don't completely hate that. Duck is gonna find a play here, and this is kind of one of the things you can do into Shen is don't wait for Shen to come to you. Go to Shen. This is 3 now. The flea will land, but he's got so much, and there's a hook that goes across. A triple taunt as the Call of the Forge God comes across. We see Bassoon and Beza on the bottom side of this fight. Nobody has died yet. Curse the Said Mummy landing onto both as Inferno is in. It's 80 carry versus 80 carry as they take each other
He
down.
doesn't need the passive this
and it's
time.
a 2-for-1 as Bell will drop on the other side, but the Frost low blinking health bars. So despite losing more members,
Soon could die to these
Demacia
cannon
has
minions
the
if he
tempo.
tries to engage it. Otacon going down, DMJ. It's not clean, it's not pretty, but they come away with the advantage. They've got the Dragon Soul, they're playing for their advantages. They're not taking fair fights. Bell was so tanky there.
Yeah, he lasted a long time, but still the fact that Bez and Bassoon were able to just chunk down Inferno so quickly in that team fight. And I think that's really the opposite of how Shen wants to play, getting engaged on. So one of the first times this happened this game, and Freljord is going to look to continue that. Again, another major objective being secured by the Justice here in game 2. Things looking
I was
good.
praising him when he was topside, and he looked great. He's separated off from the team. They're all fighting the bot side. It's so fortunate for them the Otacon was bot. I think it really plays into the advantage they already had established for themselves, and they've managed to really wrest this game back away from Freljord Frost, who I thought were looking like they were really setting themselves up to continue maintaining that momentum. Empro and Hope and Duck, the top side of the map, are really playing out of their minds to build themselves some momentum back in this game. And Beza, how does he keep trading these 1-for-1s? He didn't even need to use the passive that time, as perhaps Kog'Maw is cresting that power trough that we see in the early game. Level 14 on the Kog'Maw. He's got the max attack speed from his Q. He's got the maxed out W. Their ornaments
He is
are
2
rolling
levels down
through.
though. Like he is level 14, but the Smolder's level 16. Elder Dragon is up in a minute and a half. I don't think that
Smolder's level
he's
16,
where
and
he
yet he
wants to be
managed to
yet.
trade 1-for-1 with a numbers disadvantage. This Kog'Maw is coming online. These ornaments are here. This is not over for Freljord Frost, but DMJ are, I think, have the game in their hands. They need to close it out.
I mean, I think it's going to come down to an Elder Dragon flip. We've got 70 seconds here as both teams are positioning in. We can take a look at the vision here. Really nothing for either side. Both of them fairly defensive, at least into the river here for Demacia. As they spot 2 bot side. Now with a ward over the wall. But yeah, really, Freljord in the dark here. So defensive on these wards. They're down in gold. They're down in tempo. It makes sense that they're playing a lot more defensive.
Yep, they've got 2 blue trinkets, 1 available for Hope right now. They don't want to waste it with the dragon coming out. They
One
need to have
final
that
reset.
vision.
Yeah, both Hope and Inferno are going to land 1 final reset here. 3.5 items for the Smolder. 4 full items. As the hook, Chestnut, the massive punish. And Bassoon will fall right 27 seconds before the Elder Dragon. What a massive Blitzcrank play.
The death knell sounds for now as Chestnut does not miss, pulls another one out of Bassoon in game 2. And this Elder Dragon is going to be mighty darn hard to contest with a member down the whole time. And no vision to speak of for themselves to be able to place. They've got 1 pink ward between the 4 of them.
So Freljord can't just back away though. They have to take this 4v5. I feel like if they get Elder Dragon, it's just game over. One thing to keep in mind as it's about to go down is Empro is known for his steal. So watch the paranoia and let's see if Nocturne can pull off something incredible as the Demacia Justice with the lead are looking to take the Elder Dragon and close out game 2 in this best of 5 quarterfinal series. Here's the paranoia as it comes through. Call the Forge God across will land. It's reflected in. Paranoia is going to time out so he doesn't actually end up coming over. And it's in from Smolder. It's collected from Smolder. Empro tried, but he did not pick it up. And so that is going to be another one down.
Flash out of the well and Boxy to chase as Beza is on the run, but they don't connect. And it looks like FF is going to manage to escape with 4. Impro did not manage to find the steal, and they've got to somehow pull, what is it, 2.5, 3 minutes of time away from DMJ as they push down onto this tower.
Yeah, and for Demacia, any fight is a good fight right now. They've got the lead. They've got the objective. Chestnut needs to try and find a hook. They need to try and find a gauge with either Boxy or Chestnut. Watch for the hook. The hook goes just wide. Bell with a flash in. Finds it onto Beza. A huge pick there as the knockup landing onto Boxy, and Boxy and Chestnut taking a ton of turret damage, and that's a return kill going down. So a big shutdown lands. That's only Boxy's second death, and will they continue to fight forward? They have the Elder Dragon. Again, they need to continue this fight. But Empro is back on the cooldown, and they might try something here. It's 3 full health bars and the Elder Dragon for the Demacian Justice. Paranoia comes out and goes straight in, but he's instantly taunted. And look at the Smolder damage. Smolder needs to find a way in. They need to kill Hope. If Hope is alive, there's always a chance, but this is the second inhib going down. Demacia trying to seize a root landing, followed up on the top. The Call of the Forge God will not land onto either. Bassoon, half health on the side. You can watch these execute bars as they come through. The WoW growth landing onto Duck, keeping him alive. Great play, and Beza is now up. Bell the sidestep from Beza, and the counter kill lands. So another one going down for Demacia, and that will be the call out. Only 3 remaining with the Elder Dragon buff, about a 5.5k gold lead. They've got the soul. They have the Baron. Baron is up right now.
All right, Jax, take a second. I got this. Breathe. Holy cow. DMJ pushing deep for the end. Chestnut is pressuring hard with these rocket grabs, and DMJ are rolling over Freljord Frost at the moment in Game 2. And Pro going in deep. It would really the only objective that needs to be on their mind is how do we stall out this Elder Dragon as DMJ are pushing themselves to a Game 2 victory right now. 1 Nexus Towers left standing. Baron is on the map, and Freljord Frost are on the roam as DMJ need to look to pressure this out. Hope could be caught out here.
Dude, this is huge, and there's no way that they get back to him in time, but Baron is coming up. Massive play from Luell. Luell might be able to just end the game as the rest of Freljord is in onto the Baron. Yeah, pings down. He might back and look for the TP. Bella's up in 4 seconds. They might double TP in. Boxy gonna go for the steal. He goes in. He gets the steal. He steals the Baron. What a massive play. Inferno in. 5 finds 1 kill. The Curse of San money on. It's a double. Chestnut lands another plus knockup. But look at the teleport in. Luell is down. And it's a triple kill. It's 4 down. A double kill landing. This should be the end of the game. There's no way that Duck is able to hold the siege as the Demacian Justice are. They're gonna do it, Jason.
Shield it. He shields it back. The Call of the Forge God returned down onto Duck. He's dropping her half HP. There's only 1 in the base, but now the whole team is here. DMJ.
Oh my gosh, and Luell almost able.
They're gonna bring Freljord Frost to the brink. Can they bring it home? DMJ go up 2 in the series.
Yeah,
huge out of DMJ on the opposite side.
The game just freaking crashed.
Yeah, it just closed all of a sudden.